Welcome to the call. The founder of our company started a quest to find the absolute best nutritional products that he could that's literally led him around the world, consulting with nutritionists and others who are on the cutting edge of developing products that can make you and I healthy. I get the pleasure this evening of introducing you to our CEO and founder. Are you there?
Thanks a lot, everybody. Thanks for being on the call. I'm only going to take a minute to let you know that I'm really proud of our company and proud of our leadership and our people and, of course, proud of all of our products, because our products are so specialized, they're so good, and they can do so much good for people that I think you have to have a knowledge on how some of these products work and what they can do for you. You know, we've been in the enzyme business for quite a few years. We have an awful great product, but recently I became aware that we could possibly upgrade our enzyme product. Katie Bernhardt got a hold of me because she knew of some additional ingredients we could put in these products. And she said, would you be willing to reformulate your formula, your Pro Enzyme formula, come out with a brand new upgraded formula, and then come out with the systemic enzyme? So we have a digestive enzyme, then we have a systemic enzyme, and I really didn't know a lot about systemic enzymes, but the more I read about it, the more I heard about it, the more I talked about it, the more excited I became. And I'm taking this product at night now, and I just feel fantastic. But I think you need to have some basic knowledge of what enzymes are, how they work, why we need to take them. And to be quite honest, I think we could build a whole company just around these two new products, Formula 1 and Formula 2 enzymes, digestive enzymes, and the systemic enzymes. I really appreciate all the work Katie did on this project. She designed the labels to come out with the very best formulas on the market today. I can guarantee you there's no other company in America or anywhere in the world that has enzyme products like we have developed here. And it's something that you can be very, very proud of. And so with that, I'm just going to say that thank you, Katie, for being involved in this project with the company. And with that, let's get on to the training, and I'll turn it over to Katie Bernhardt.
Thank you so much, Tony, and thank you for that kind introduction. What you said a minute ago about we probably could build an entire company around just these two products. The more you learn about enzymes, the more you're going to want to know about enzymes, the more you're going to realize that they are absolutely an essential part of nutrition. We're going to cover a lot of information, and whenever you learn something for the first time, you're only going to retain so much of it. So there'll be a lot of support, information, and hopefully we'll do follow-up calls as well. But I'm going to try and give you a nice, good overview tonight so you can understand why enzymes are so very, very valuable. And with the healthcare, the way it is in this country, the more knowledge you have about how your body works, the more you can empower yourself and your friends and family and those people you contact in your business to be healthy and happy individuals for a really long time. Before I start, I just want to do a general FDA disclaimer. This call is for educational purposes only, and it is not meant to treat, diagnose, or cure any disease or illness. If you do have medical issues, make sure that you seek the advice of your doctor. Just want to make sure that I'm covering this, and if you ever cover anything with folks and share information, just realize you can pick up a book about enzymes and read all about the research studies. They're phenomenal, but you always want to couch everything in that disclaimer that it is education. You're sharing education, and then when I tell you about our formulas themselves, that I'm just talking about the formula. But right now we're going to get into some of the information about enzymes, like Tony had said, what they are, what they do, can you run low on them, what happens when you run low on them, and all of that. If you want to grab some paper and pencil, if you have some because you wanted to take notes, what we're going to start covering is what are enzymes, where do they come from, can we run low on our enzymes, what do enzymes do in our body, what happens when we're low on enzymes, and last of all, we're going to come full circle and we're going to talk about what's the best enzyme program when you're building an enzyme supplement program, and then I will talk a little bit about what makes our enzymes so unique, and then you'll have a little bit of a background about what enzymes are by the time I'm talking about that, and you'll understand why these are such a great set of products. So to start with our very first section here is what are enzymes? And the best way to explain this, I'm going to do it in a very practical sense, something that everybody can relate to. If you were going to build your dream house and you bought a beautiful piece of property and then you bought all the lumber and all the screws and all the paint and all the paintbrushes and every bit of material that you would need to build your ultimate dream house. You even have the refrigerators sitting there and all the electrical sockets and all the wiring, everything. Those would be the raw materials. It would be everything you need to build that house. But if you never went there and no general contractor ever went there and none of the crew came so that they could saw the wood and build the house for you, then all of those materials would sit on that property and it would snow and it would rain and the sun would shine on it and eventually they'd rot and rust and you just have a big pile of trash and debris. And enzymes are exactly like that. It's that simple. All your vitamins and proteins, the amino acids, the healthy fats that you take in your krill oil, your antioxidants, everything you can think of that you take in as nutrition that we've been told is so important to get in our daily diet, those things are important. Just like the wood's important in building the house. They're all important. But you can have all that, and if you don't have enzymes or you don't have enough of an enzyme pool to utilize those, then you're going to get nowhere. Enzymes are like the workforce. They're like the crew that shows up and builds your house. The doctors and the scientists that delve into the research of enzyme therapy say there is nothing on the planet like enzymes. They're like a mystery. They're a certain kind of a protein molecule that holds energy. And no other thing in your body is like that. They run everything in your body, and they're mysterious, and they're kind of glorious, and some people even kind of say it's like the life force itself. In essence, life could not exist without enzymes. No activity at all could take place in your body without enzymes. And when you're out of certain enzymes, life ceases to exist. Enzymes are really essential as far as nutrition goes, but we'll talk about that in a moment when we look to see why we run out of enzymes. So where do enzymes come from? And again, I'm going to try and take a very simple approach here so that you can relate to it with something you already understand in life. So let's say you were born into a family, and when you were born, you were given a special bank account. And in that bank account was a large amount of money, and that was your inheritance. And it was given to you, and you literally had that money to exist upon for the rest of your life, but when you ended up using it up, that would take you to the end of your life. Enzymes are like that. We inherit our enzyme potential from our parents. Enzyme deficiencies are actually passed down generation after generation, and we can start to see some of the damage that's being done because of the type of diet we eat in the culture that we're in, that our enzyme pools are actually becoming more and more deficient with each generation, and that's why we're seeing more of the debilitating diseases showing up in children these days. It's a little bit like a bank account, and you have only so much enzyme potential, and these are called enzyme energy factors. And this potential is what creates these enzymes for your lifetime. And then as you progress and use them up, what ends up happening is we run low on our enzymes. And where science will show us that pretty much a person's vitamins and minerals, their general materials, the food stuffs that we take in, our proteins and all of that, usually stays pretty consistent over a person's lifetime. You're going to eat every single day, and if you're used to eating a quality diet, then you're probably going to maintain yourself on a quality diet for the rest of your life. If you're used to eating a junk food program, you're probably going to maintain a junk food program unless somebody comes and teaches you to do better. But then if you upgrade it, you're going to maintain that probably for the rest of your life. Enzymes will run out. The way that we eat in this country, our enzymes are running out sooner than ever before. So science shows us in our culture that at age 25, we've actually burned through half of our enzyme potential. What's meant to last us a lifetime is 50% gone by the time we reach age 25. And so science has shown us the aging process actually kicks in at the age of 27, and for some people they might sneak through until about the age of 30. So somewhere between 27 and 30, our bodies shift, and our bodies get the signal that our enzyme potential is 50% gone, and our pancreas is pumping out a lot of these enzymes. It readjusts, and it decides, instead of giving you the enzymes you need every day to run your body optimally, that it better start cutting back or you're going to be dead at the age of 40 or your early 50s. So it's a little bit like if you had that inherited bank account and you were squandering your money, and the trustees saw that and they came in and they decided, hey, you know what, you can't just have unlimited access anymore. We're going to lock down this account and you can only have so much money every month, and it may not even be as much as you need to live, but you're going to have to force yourself to go out and work or do something. It's that kind of a thing. So the body shuts back, and where it might have put a tablespoon of enzymes into your body systems for a particular function that you needed to run, it's now going to only maybe put a few drops. So it cuts back dramatically. And then when you hit your 40s, it cuts back again dramatically. And again, this is happening because 90% of the food bought in this country is processed food. And for those of us who really care about our peak performance and try to eat really well, we may go to great lengths and a lot of expense to buy certified organic foods. Most of those great foods, those fresh foods, end up being cooked because that's just the way our culture has taught us to eat. And once you cook a food, you kill the enzymes in the food. And the situation here is that raw foods, not all raw foods, but some raw foods, most raw foods have some enzymes in them that will help to digest them. Those enzymes in the living foods, actually, when you eat them and they get in your upper stomach, it warms them and the enzymes go and they actually break down the foods, and then you don't have to use and force your pancreas to make digestive enzymes to try and break down that food. And so the way it's really supposed to work is your food is supposed to mostly digest itself. Now, you can't really rely on the whole raw food kind of fad that's going on, because there's actually some raw foods that have to be sprouted and soaked, and it's quite an ordeal to even understand, much less it's pretty hard to eat 100% raw. But even if you did that, it wouldn't be enough. You'd have to be doing all kinds of other fermented supplementations and all of this stuff that just isn't in our culture. It is actually found in some cultures, and I'll talk about that in a second. By the time we're 40, we get another turn down in enzyme production, and so a lot of times people will notice, and once they hit 40, all of a sudden, or their mid-40s, oh boy, their body's starting to feel like it's aging. A little bit earlier, it was just feeling some aches and pains. Now it's like, whoa, what's going on? And by the time you hit 50, it's stronger. And then with just about every decade, and you can almost feel your body gearing down. At that point of 27 to 30, when your body first starts shutting down enzyme production, we see so many different things. We see the science sees the beginning of the aging process that sets in at that time. Things like the brain begins its process of shrinking. Our brain shrinks as we age. And also we go from what's called an anabolic state to a catabolic state.